Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy, can you hear me? I'm a pinball wizard. Hello, folks. Michael J here. How you guys doing? Everybody doing well? Let's hope so. Okay, so just going to do a bit of a rant today. Further to what I mentioned about subs, the game, the diminishing player base, subs, and the Soviet containers recently just added. So let's go to the main screen and look at this here. Now, here we go. Now, here's a post. We're using the Ouija, World of Warships forum as a reference here. Okay, so here's a guy, 34,000 battles. It's a lot of battles. You got to be around for a while. You're right from the beginning and you've played hard. And he's responding to another gentleman here, so he's got it in quotes. This is the top one. And then where he says, I agree, is his response. Now, the top one, this guy played a lot of battles also. These guys have been around. So, to those, I'm going to just read a little bit here. To those saying, the top one first, that's in quotes, to those saying that what other players do during events like this has no effect on me and how I play, I don't agree. You're entitled to your own opinion, sure, but I still don't agree with the viewpoint. Events like this are stepping stones, as they have been for a long time now. They shape future events and embolden wargaming. These events are why we constantly get events like this over and over. These events are why early access ships now cost a fortune and keep going up in cost with each passing release. These events are why we have to pay resources for missions now, rather than just resources for resources. These events are why they don't just simply release a premium ship and have to tie it to some long campaign mission set and still make you gamble for the ship after its completion. This is why we have GAM bundles now. So the simplest form of premium ship these days is the dockyard, for Pete's sakes, which I'm sure WG Wargaming is currently trying to figure out how to make more money off of. So yes, when people buy into this type of thing, it doesn't immediately harm me, but it does greater damage over time. The worst of it all is there is squat any of us can do about it other than try to ignore the big flashy sign in our face saying, buy now or quit. People are going to buy what they want and participate in what they want. And then he edits, heck, I wouldn't be surprised if events like this are why we got the Captain rework, Signal Flag bonus rework, the Camo rework, and the Super Container rework, all of which affect my gameplay and have diminished my enjoyment of this game. So I'm going to highlight this again here. And why I'm highlighting this is important, because this is really what's happening, and this is where people just don't get it. And I make reference to it, and Wargaming's moderator has gave me a warning over. So here, just to make sure we're clear on this and understand. And he says, edit, heck, I wouldn't be surprised if events like this are why we got the Captain rework, 19 to 21 point captains, Signal Flag bonus rework, separation of economy and camouflage, and the Super Container rework, diminish what you get, but say your chances go up. That's the Super Container rework. So, all of which affect my gameplay. And he just further states, and have diminished my enjoyment of this game. Okay? That's very, very important. This guy's been around for a while, paying attention, and it's a great balanced response. And he's speaking from the heart. Now, here's this other gentleman here. We're going to highlight him. He's a lot of battles, 10,000 more than I have. That's a lot of battles. So he says, I agree. And this is all response to the Soviet containers, basically. So he says, I agree. I don't hate this event or anything. I just don't like wargaming, WG, wargaming, low effort events, and participation in these events only leads to encourage WG wargaming to do more. I believe WG's, wargaming's think tank, has run dry, and that's the part I don't like. I feel that WG Wargaming doesn't have much to offer anymore in terms of new ships or unique traits. It often seems WG Wargaming simply targets new players and does little for retention. He puts if, but I mean, I'm sure he wanted of long-term players. I hold no ill toward anyone that participates, but I asked him to think it through in the sense of further encouraging WG Wargaming's low-effort additions to the game. This guy makes a great point. And we're going to go back up to the middle paragraph, and where he says, it often seems wargaming simply targets new players and does little for retention of long-term players. Guaranteed. They just don't care. It's a free-to-play game, has a high churn rate to begin with. They had, and we've seen, I did an earlier video, the retention rate of, the player base has gone down. And Wargaming's response was through this guy Askance. Oh yeah, I got to bring that up. Good old Askance. So why I say that is, this is the guy that's a moderator on the forums, North American, what is he here? North American Community Manager. I think he came on just about a year ago. Just after, actually, he came on just after or around the time of the CC Community Contributor Exodus, Flamu and Flambas and all the other community contributors that got turfed by wargaming or left because of how, Little White Mouse was treated and various other factors. And you just seen the player base attrit substantially as a result of that. So I go on the forums once in a while, and we'll look at it here. So here's one of my responses. So I had responded, how is the game balanced, and wonder why player base is crashing. So this is basically has to do with, subs and stuff like that. And so here's another guy, pugilistic, 34,000 battles. Guy's been around for a while. So he quotes me, and I had stated how a Fibonacci sequence relates to a Mandelbrot set. If you're into mathematics or the understanding of mathematics and quantum physics, then you'd understand the meaning of that reference. But nonetheless, and then second paragraph, I say, only in Garp's world. And then I finish off, gotta love the comedy, right, Mo? And the whole reason for that is I'm at a state where I'm just frustrated with the state of affairs. Wargaming never listens to any of the player base. They just ram everything down your throat, like the subs and everything else, CVs, without consideration. So you got this in the forums where you've got these guys that, they're ego strokers and they love what's going on, but you have guys that have been around for a long time to look at things different. And this is what I'm pointing out. So this guy responds, if it works for you as a self-comforting behavior, use it. Great. This guy gets it. He understands. And it's not speaking to anybody, making fun of them, or talking down to them or insulting anybody. And he understands this. So great. Now, you got to see this. So last night I posted on the forums, and then Mr. Askance gives me a warning. Now, what's it about here? This message has been sent to you to inform you. Okay, so look at my recent messages. This is from for the past year. Past year. 1, 2, 3 out of 4 are from this Askance, the community manager. First one from a year ago, your recent warning. Then April 5 of this year, your recent warning. This is after this guy Crusoe says you got to edit your post, because I reference Roe versus Wade. He says it's a political thing. Well, Roe versus Wade, depending on how you construct the framework of your paragraph, could be construed as a political thing, but nonetheless, Roe versus Wade is legal precedence. So what I had stated was Roe versus Wade. You could spend 100 years arguing anti-abortion or pro-life, but why would you do that when all you have to do is create birthing centers that satisfy the problem and rise above the problem? So I got friggin' the post was removed and suspended. And there it is, your recent suspension, Askance. Couldn't understand the fact that I just used it to make it. So the purpose of that reference was to make a parallel. Wargaming, you don't have to fight between I like subs, you don't like subs, and you see your player base go down. Create a separate mode within the game, just like co-op, where you've got CVs and subs. But instead I get suspended for speaking out like that, which in this free world, this democracy, only in America, you say. Or North America, you say. Okay. So now, after I posted, and I'm going to show these posts, but anyways, so now I get a warning. Today is, what's today? Today's June the 10th. So I got a warning today, this morning. And because a couple things I had posted. So now I've said at one post, maybe you've drunk the proverbial snake oil drink of the century. And I'm going to refer to the past economic rework working its magic. Oh my. And we've seen with these two, that's why I showed the post earlier, where the guy actually makes a reference to captain rework, economic rework, etc., etc. So here, because I've made this response, and then I said there might be a hidden message or metaphor within what I stated. These are different posts, actually. And then have another squid sandwich, Moby. So squids within the naval community, past guys that have been, in the armed forces or Navy, the submarine guys are usually referred to as squids. So I just stayed having another squid sandwich movie. And now, because of that, I get this friggin' warning. And the warning is based on these community rules here. And be respectful to other players. How is any of these statements not respectful to other players? And you have received a warning. And the premise for getting this warning is the issue below. Personal attacks, other disrespectful. Like, unless you have lost the ability to use thought and reason, how is any of those response that I made personal attacks or disrespectful? Just use thought and reason. Come on now. So, there used to be a time where moderators had a reference for a standard of how to act. And so with wargaming, we've lost that ability, which is nothing unusual. Seems to happen all the time. And what are you going to do? So I'm going to make another reference here now. So you can just see fully the picture that I'm trying to portray to you. Okay, so here we go. This is me. I joined the forums February 2018. I haven't done a lot of posts, 298 posts, compared to what all these other guys have done is friggin' next to nothing, for 24,000 battles. Now, these are all the different threads I've responded to. Now, is this for real? Okay, so here's my post that I made for this thread here. Did I say there was anything wrong? Here, let me highlight it here. Did I say there was anything wrong or right about your post? There might be a hidden message or metaphor within what I stated. Nonetheless, you're not the first guy that missed his stop. Sometimes you miss the bus stop or the subway stop. Who knows what type of transit you're riding. So have a great year posting, sending love and peace to everyone. So this, there might be a hidden message or metaphor within what I stated. Like, how is that disrespectful? Like, come on now. Now, here's another one, and in this for real thing, where I stated, this is just a one-line response, maybe you've drunk the proverbial snake oil drink of the century. Maybe. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I said maybe. And then to tweak where I'm coming from, I post past economic rework working its magic. Oh my. So I make a reference to why I stated that somebody may be drinking the proverbial snake oil because you've lost the ability to connect the dots to understand that the economic rework may be working its magic by design, and you missed that. And so guys just don't get it. So is this for real? What's this topic about? What's this topic about? Okay. Oh. Yeah, so here's part of why, working its magic. And this guy Mort, this is a response to this guy Mort. And I wanted to tell, he's the guy who said, So when I said maybe you've drunk the proverbial snake oil, past economic, oh my, he says, what's wrong with what I said? Well, I never said there was anything wrong with what you said. All I'm doing is making a statement to make you think about what you said and what I said and how one may be relative to the other, and maybe to tweak your mind to think in a creative manner versus a wargaming logical manner. Like wargaming's manipulating you, and so I'm just letting you know. Past economic rework working his magic, and you're not aware of it, buddy. Oh my. So, is that being disrespectful? Come on now. So he says, what's wrong with what I said? And I just responded. Did I say there was anything wrong or right about your post? No. There might be a hidden message or metaphor within what I stated. Nonetheless, you're not the first guy that missed his stop. Have a great year posting, sending love and peace to everyone. So, there you go. You see it right there. So this guy, Askance, North American Community Manager, has given me the proverbial warning. The absolute proverbial warning. Oh my. So, that's from the Is This For Real thread, 11 hours ago. This is Thursday. And this one's Thursday, so these are recent. And how is this game balanced and wonder why player base is crashing? This is a reference to the subs. And that's why I have another squid sandwich movie. It's frustrating. You got these guys saying, well, you got to adapt or friggin' screw off. Subs are here to stay. Some guys are trying to say, well, there's a different way you can approach this to balance everybody's interests, but Wargaming and the community manager obviously have no interest in looking at it from that point of view. And then another one of the forum guys posts, and I just respond, just so you know, this isn't part of it, but why I got the warning, but just to give you some insight into where I'm coming from. So how is this game balanced? And this is about subs. So Sea Lord Mountbatten, guy used Sea Lord Mountbatten as a reference. And this guy flip-flops from one side of the fence to the other regarding subs. And I brought this, I'm going to bring this to the attention of people again. So, Sea Lord Mountbatten, ? Is he spreading pixel and fairy dust around? For a teacher, his research skills need a serious refresher course. Nice guy. But as a reference, like a de facto standard? I question that. So I make a statement. I watched that Swampland as prime property video. And this is the video this guy had made a reference to. And from my perspective, that cannot be a reference for anybody to make an assumption, because it's just Swampland being sold as prime property and this is where he's going back and forth. So this is where I come from. I'm just letting these guys know. So, we have a problem, Houston. Yes, we do. Okay, so here we go, folks. That was my rant. This is the state of affairs with Wargaming. Thanks for watching. Love and peace, Michael J. Take care, folks. Questions, please reply in the comments. Let me know what you think. Take care, folks. Ciao for now.